Hi you guys, my name is Derrick Rashid and welcome to my channel. So here we are on yet another recap of my favorite trash TV show, which is 90 Day Fiancé. Let's just get into the mess, right? The episode opens up with Paul and Karine and they're getting a send-off from Brazil from Karine's family as they make their journey to the airport so that they can head back to the States. Is it just me, or did everyone think this baby's name was Pierre and not Pierre? Like, when Paul said it, I was completely thrown for a loop. I was like, who is Pierre? We take the journey to the airport and we find out that Karine's mother is doubtful, I guess would be the word, in Paul, and I'm assuming that's his abilities to be a provider, to be a good husband, possibly be a good father. Either way, we know she's uneasy about the entire situation. And quite honest, I'm not really too upset in Karine's mother not having a lot of faith in Paul, because let's be serious, it would make a lot of sense for anybody to be worried about their grandchild and their daughter in his hands. Let's fly over to the States. We arrive. Paul's mother is here to greet us at the airport. Paul is like, oh, you two mingle and like have bonding time while I go get the luggage. Why? We all know that Paul has issues with luggage. He overpacks everything. He has an issue with positioning things on a single cart because he doesn't want to get two carts, so everything ends up falling over, or it's just really hard to push, and all of these things happen. I think it falls over like 2 or 3 times before they make it outside the door of the airport. And Paul's mom is just like completely over him already, and I love her for this. On our way to the hotel that Paul's mother is paying for because Paul doesn't have a job, and she also doesn't want Paul to live with her. So during this entire process, she calls him idiots and stupid, and then they get in a fight because Karine takes the baby out of the car seat. The baby was hungry. Like, nothing else is gonna calm this baby down other than food. And who has the food? Karine, because she also breastfeeds. And let's just give it up for TLC and all the mothers that are there that are publicly breastfeeding their children without a cover. Feed them babies. Paul flips out about this and he's like, oh, you're breaking the law, and his mom is like, dude, like, chill out, like, it's okay, like, she has the baby, calm down, this is why you can't live with me, like, you're crazy, you're this idiot, Paul's mom's words, not mine, because I would call him something else. This idiot gets out of the car in the middle of the road because he's so mad, and I don't get it. Why is all of this necessary? We get out of the car, we unpack all the luggage and put it on the luggage cart, and we're saying our goodbyes to Mom. Karine is also bothered by Paul's tantrum, and then she also points out the fact that, like, I guess she was under the impression that they would be staying with Paul's parents, and they're not, so she's a little bit upset about that. But that's basically all we get about Paul and Karine for the entire episode, so we're just gonna move on. Colt and Jess. It's the morning after. Apparently they didn't get jiggy with it. We go out on another stroll around Chicago, have some good conversation, and Colt brings up that Jess's visa is about to expire and like what's gonna happen with that. And then she's like, I don't know, maybe I'll do another visa, like a student visa or a K1 visa. And he's like, who? Maybe Colt is a little bit more reserved in who he's just gonna hop up and say he's gonna get married to. And Jess is like, well, do you want to come back to Brazil with me and meet my family? Colt agrees to this. And that's the end of the Chicago trip. He flies back to Vegas, and then Jess meets up with her friends again, 2 of the girls from the night or the episode prior. And I will say, after one meeting, I would say their thoughts are valid on Colt, and I appreciate them giving it to her as real as they did. Our camera goes over to Larissa, who's getting ready for her date with Mr. Funny with a twist, and she's just contouring away. We meet Mr. Funny with a twist. His name is like Matt or something. And like, He gives her a gift, which is good. Larissa likes gifts. So point for him, little check mark there. And we have dinner, and he's asking her pretty like good questions of like first date kind of scenarios. And then he's like, something about kids, and she's like, oh, my kids are in Brazil. And he's like, oh, well, why are they in Brazil? Instead of her answering that question, she goes into, well, I was arrested. Like, complete avoidance of the issue. So we jump into her and Colt and her arrest record and everything, rather than answering the question about the kids. And maybe she doesn't want to say that she doesn't have custody of them. I'm pretty sure she just like wiped out any chance of having a second date with Funny with a Twist. I mean, I wouldn't go back out with her. Not after all that. I feel like that was a lot to just relinquish on the first date. The next day or whenever, she goes to, what's the girl's, I don't know, I think her name was like Michelle or something. The girl who hooked her up with Funny with a Twist, and she gets a cosmetic procedure. I'm thinking, who paid for this? Like, you literally just asked your father for like $5,000, and instead of you being a responsible adult, you're getting another procedure done. Make it make sense for me, because I'm really not getting it. Like, I'm not understanding. So the friend asks how the date went, and Larissa does what all of us who feel as though we're not going to have a second date with the person and not by our own choosing. She lies and says, I didn't feel a connection. I don't think there was a spark. I'm pretty positive he liked her until the arrest thing happened. Oh, and the fact that he asked her, what do you like in a man? And she's like, citizenship. And I'm all for her being on Front Street about this. If you want citizenship, go for it. But I feel as though there's a specific type of relationship that you should be looking for in order to get that citizenship and know that that's part of the agreement. And I don't think this was it. We catch up with Elizabeth and Andre as Andre's about to call his parents on video chat to discuss the wedding that they've been talking about for forever. Apparently he's been making all these plans and everything with his parents, and the way the conversation goes, it doesn't really sound like there are any plans made. Everything that they talked about seemed very base level in the planning process of a wedding. And he throws out, oh yeah, we're gonna stay with you guys and we're gonna be there for 3 weeks. And this is news to Libby, just like it's news to all of us. And she's like, who said 3 weeks and living with your parents? Because I planned on all of us staying in a, let's say, an Airbnb with my family and all of us being under one roof. And he's like, yeah, no, but my mom hasn't seen Eleanor and this will be a good time for her to bond. True, fine, whatever. I don't know, I just feel like he makes all these decisions about money and these wedding plans and everything else, and for somebody to not have a job, that just shouldn't be the case. Libby goes on a dress shopping hunt. Is that what they call it? They go dress shopping. They, as in Libby, her mom, and her sisters. And obviously there's supposed to be like some magical event where they're all supposed to have like these wonderful moments. But as per usual, Libby's sisters, and this time her mom kind of jumps in again, which I'm not really here for it. But they jump in and make this about themselves, essentially, especially that one sister. I don't know her name. They have a tendency of making things about themselves as if the previous wedding wasn't held in their own town and they all got to see it. And if you can't make it, you just can't make it. There's no need to continue to bring it up and have it be this sore spot and everything. We all know that you guys don't like Andre. We all know that you weren't really here to go to Moldova to begin with. So at this point, like, honestly, just bring it down. Like, pipe it all the way down. Oh, they frustrate me. But the dress was cute. Tanya and Sinjin, or I should say Sinjin, is getting ready for his first interview. He seems as though, like, when he comes on the camera, that he's like legit ready to go. And Tanya's like, oh, can you help me pick out some clothes? So he picks out the sweater and he's like, what bottom? She's like, any pair of jeans. So he pulls out a pair of jeans and, oh no, but not that one. Girl, first and foremost, why? My first thought is, if Sinjin is ready to go, why is he picking out your clothes? And then why are you like, oh, can you give me a shower? So he carries her to the shower, showers her, and then carries her downstairs. And I'm just like, okay, I've never broken anything in my life. So I don't know, but I'm pretty sure every time I've seen someone with a boot on, they've been able to walk, as if the boot was for the sole purpose of being able to make them mobile and giving their bones maximum protection and keeping them sturdy so that they can heal. If she can't walk, why isn't she on crutches or something? Like, I'm just confused on the entire thing of why she needs to be carried around all the time. So anyway, Sinjin goes, he has his interview, and apparently while he's at his interview, she has to go to the doctor. He's at the interview, and we find out that Sinjin is a talker, and he's talking about things that don't really make sense to the job that he is interviewing for. And we find out that he doesn't really have like any experience with actual bartending. Needless to say, it doesn't sound like he's getting the job, which is sad. Tanya kinda got us a little bit on her side, and then he just pushed us all the way there with her fear of him drinking too much. So he comes home drunk, and she's pissed off, but she goes to recount what happened at the doctor's appointment, and the doctor's like, oh, well, basically she needs to continue doing therapy. He's like, what? So you're not going to be working? And then she's like, yeah, and then I'm going to have arthritis. And then he flies off the handle. No, he said you were only going to have arthritis when you turn 50. And she's done. And this is the moment where I'm really like on her side, but I'm like, both of y'all have an issue with alcohol, and both of you guys should honestly seek help. So we meet up with Angela, who is, last time she went to an OB appointment. This week she's going to a lawyer. And basically we find out that she needs to get a will, and then she's at Lou, who I think that's her immigration attorney. And she asks him to draft the will for her, and he's like, oh, so do you want to cut out Michael? And I'm like, yeah, cut his ass all the way out. Like, he don't need to be any part of this, because at the end of the day, we all know that Michael's a scammer, and he's just going to play the role that he needs to play until he can get his citizenship and be fine without her or wait her out to die. Ooh, that was really harsh. I shouldn't have said all that. Wow. But she's like, no, I don't want to really cut him out of like everything. She goes to tell Skyla, so now it's time for you to agree to come to Nigeria and be the witness. And Skyla's like, I thought about it. Bad idea. Like, I'm not here for your relationship. And I'm just not. Like, who's gonna watch the kids? I have to take out time for work. We got Mima here, and we all know Mima's not doing too good. So I'm just not gonna go. Angela is over it. And do y'all know this lady called Michael on Skyla like Michael Skyla's daddy, and he gonna make her do something? Angela, if you don't pick up the phone and phone a friend, I'm pretty sure there's somebody in it. There has to be someone in your life who will come and be your witness. There has to be. Because if we relying on Skyla, y'all ain't getting married, baby. Y'all really not. Kalani and Asuelu is our final couple of the episode. While Asuelu is waiting for Kalani to pick him up from work, he calls his sister. There's two topics of conversation. One is, you haven't been sending us money. And two is, by the way, there's a measles outbreak here. Children have been dying. Asuelu mentions the outbreak to Kalani, and Kalani's like, nope, we're gonna go to the doctor. We're gonna get all this stuff straightened out. So they're waiting for the doctor. Doctor comes in, she gives them all the information that they need. They tell her about the outbreak, and this is what the doctor says. 1, Kennedy falls underneath the recommended age for the measles vaccine, but he can get it. 2, I don't think you should really go. Like, she recommends not going. Kalani's concerned about giving Kennedy the vaccine because Oliver had reactions to it, and Asuelu was like, nope, let's give it to him. Let's go. We'll be fine. And the doctor's like, you know what? I'm gonna leave, and I'm gonna go prepare the script for the shot, and I'll give it to you guys, and you can just do what you want to do with it. She leaves the room, and Asuelu then asks, was she the nurse or the doctor? I just want to say thank you to Kalani for really getting on Asuelu about this comment, because let's not act like this woman did not just come in here and introduce herself as the doctor first and foremost. Two, the fact that she's a woman says nothing about her capabilities to perform as the doctor that your children are going to see, who you probably just met for the first time by how everything sounds. Three, let's also not act like you just told us that 70% plus 40% is 100%. So I think her merit is a little bit way above yours, and if she's recommending you not to go and put your children at risk for the measles for something that is not necessary, I think you should listen. I just don't understand how you can be like that set on placing your children in potential danger. To end this on a positive note, Kalani, thank you for breastfeeding that baby without a cover. Alright, you guys, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and also follow me on socials. I have Instagram and I have Twitter. My handles are Derrick_Rashid, just like it is with this channel, only the channel does not have the underscore. And I'll see you next time. Bye.